Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before we start our lesson, we will begin with reciting surah. The first one will be Surah Al-Fatihah, Surah Taha ayat 1 hingga 5, Surah Al-Insyirah, Surah Al-Kafirun, and then Surah Al-Ikhlas by 3 times. After that, followed by selawat ke atas Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Kita niatkan selawat kita ni untuk memenuhi perintah Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Kita niatkan selawat kita ni untuk memenuhi hak Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Kita niatkan selawat kita ni untuk mendapat syafaat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam di akhirat kelak. Dan kita niatkan segala bacaan surah dan selawat kita ni untuk kedua orang tua, keluarga dan seluruh umat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Kemudian doa sebelum belajar, semoga dengan usaha ini akan membantu pelajar agar mudah memahami dan dibukakan hati para pelajar untuk mencintai ilmu. Okay?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم طه ما أنزلنا عليك القرآن لتشقى إلا تذكرة لمن يخشى تنزيلا ممن خلق الأرض والسماوات العلى الرحمن على العرش استوى. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد. 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 محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل 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 محمد
Doa sebelum belajar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma ftah alaina hikmataka wanshur alaina min hazaini rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Ya Allah, bukakanlah ke atas kami hikmat-hikmat-Mu dan limpahilah ke atas kami khazanah rahmat-Mu. Wahai yang maha pemurah lagi maha penyayang.
Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Ya Rabbku, lapangkanlah untukku dadaku dan mudahkanlah untukku urusanku dan lepaskanlah kekakuan dari lidahku, supaya mereka mengerti perkataanku.
Amin.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Seperti biasa, kita ni akan memulakan sesi pembelajaran kita ni dengan berselawat ke atas Rasulullah SAW selama 2 minit. Terlebih dahulu, kita ni membaca 3 niat penting ini. Yang pertama, kami niatkan selawat kami untuk memenuhi perintah Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Yang kedua, kami niatkan selawat kami untuk memenuhi hak Rasulullah SAW. Dan yang ketiga, kami niatkan selawat kami untuk mendapat syafaat Rasulullah SAW di akhirat kelak. Semoga dengan berselawat, Allah akan membukakan hati dan minda para pelajar untuk menerima ilmu dan memanfaatkan ilmu tersebut di masa akan datang. Disarankan kepada semua pelajar untuk membaca doa di dalam hati selama 2 minit berselawat. Doa untuk kedua orang tua, keluarga, diri sendiri dan apa saja doa yang ingin para pelajar sampaikan. Okay, 2 minutes from now. Amin, 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 ya Rabbal Alamin. In this session, we will discuss about topic pictogram, bar chart, pie chart, frequency tables, and line graph. Alright, so here we cover topic 3.1.2 and also topic 3.1.3. Okay, so can you please get ready with your notes, page 122 until 135, and your worksheet page 118 until 131. Learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to collect and organize data and construct pictogram bar chart for discrete data pie chart for categorical data, and frequency table for ungrouped and grouped discrete data. Read, analyze, and interpret this diagram and chart and draw simple conclusion from them. Steps to success. First, differentiate between pictogram, bar chart, and pie chart. Second, construct pictogram, bar chart, pie chart, and frequency table. And last one, read and interpret the graph to answer the questions given. Please copy down all of these steps to success in your notes. Here are the key ideas about each of these charts, okay? And now, for pictogram, you use picture or symbol to represent the collected data, while the bar chart, it used to compare things between different groups or to track changes over time. Pie chart can be used to compare parts of a whole that do not show changes over time. Okay, so pie chart is about fixed data. Frequency table helps in counting the frequency of occurrence of events, and this frequency table always combined with bar chart or pie chart or line graph. Okay, and the last one, line graph are used to track changes over short and long periods of time. All right, and how we going? For example, we are using line graph uh, for doing the comparisons of students' mark, comparisons of your marks, comparisons of student performance from years to years. So we are using line graph. We also can use the bar chart. Okay. Now, pictograms. As I mentioned earlier, a pictogram uses pictures or symbols to represent the collected data. Okay, and each picture or symbol stands for a certain number of the same items. Okay, and in this pictogram, we need to show the key of the representations of pictograms. Alright. Now, let's start with the first example in this session. Example 7. So I will give you 1 minute to try to answer all of these questions. Alright, so here we have 5 questions altogether. 1 minute from now. Okay, now actually you already learned this pictogram during your PSR, so you need to recall this topic. Alright, and before we start to answer all of the questions, you need to read the key first. Okay, and the key given here, this whole circle represents 8 goals. Okay, this whole circle represents 8 goals. So for team A we have 16 goals, for team B we have 10 goals, for team C we have 4 goals, for team D we have 14 goals, and for team E we have 6 goals. Alright. So for part A, how many goals were scored by team B? And the answer is 10. B, which team scored the most goals? The answer is team A. How many more goals did Team D score compared to Team E? When we talk about comparison, when we talk about difference, so it is subtract. Okay, so for your Team D, it is 14, and for Team E, it is 6. Okay, so the difference 14 minus 6, and the answer is 8. Okay, for part D, find the ratio of the number of goals scored by Team B to that scored by Team D. Okay, so Team B 2, Team D, Team B Brunei, Team B is 10 to Team D. Okay, D is 14. When we simplify, and we should get 5 to 7. And the question asks you about ratio, therefore you need to give your answer in ratio, right? For part E, what percentage of the total number of goals did Team C score? So Team C score 4 goals, okay? Team C score 4 goals. So the total altogether is 50. Okay, percentage, whatever asking about percentage, so you need to multiply by 100. Okay, so how we got this total 50? We add them all, so the total is 50, and Team C is 4, so times 100, and you should get 8%. Okay, example 8. Here we have 3 questions. I will give you 1 minute to try. Okay, now for part A, you need to construct a pictogram for the above data. So you draw columns for this pictogram, and you also need to prepare the key for your pictogram and label, number of fish and participants, and then the key. Okay, the easiest key will be a circle, so that it's easy for you to split that circle into 4 or into half. Okay, now we start with Ahmad. Here the circle represent 2 fish. Okay, the circle represent 2 fish, therefore for Ahmad we have 3 circles. Okay, for Bang we have 2 circles, and for Calvin we have 4 in the half circle. For the key, it's up to you. Okay, it's up to you to decide how you're going to do the key. All right, but sometimes the question will give you the key, and you need to follow that key for your pictogram. Okay, and for part B, who caught the most number of fish? So the answer is Calvin. Okay, you see here, Calvin caught 9 fish. How many more fish did Calvin catch compared to Bang? So when we say how many more, So it's about difference. So the difference is 9 minus 4 and the answer is 5. Next, bar chart. A bar chart uses bar to represent the number of units in graph equality frequencies of the various items. It has uniform means equal, uniform column width, and each bar should be equally spaced out. Okay, for you to remember this bar chart, just remember about chocolate bar. For example, Kit Kat here. Okay, if you see the Kit Kat, this will be the column. Okay, and each of them has uniform as equal column width. Okay, the width here, and then from each bar to another bar, we have equally spaced out like here. Okay, so that is what we call as bar chart. All right, please remember this one. Must put space out. Okay, must put space between the column. Example 9. And here we discuss part A first, and I will give you 1 minute to try. Okay, now this bar chart represent the number of students and the size of family. Okay, the students of a class were asked about their family sizes. For example, the number of members in their families. The results were collected and a bar chart was constructed as shown below. And now you need to use the bar chart to answer this part A. For part A, how many students had family size of 4 members or fewer? So 4 member is included, right? Now, first and foremost, you need to interpret the graph, read the graph, and find out the number of students. Okay, so for 3 sizes of family, we have 6 students. For 4 sizes of family, we have 11, 5, 10, 6, 8, and 7, 5 students. Okay, now 4 members or fewer, that means we having family size of 3 or 4 members, and 4 is included here. Therefore, the answer is 11 plus 6, and the answer is 17. Now, part B, I give you 1 minute to try. Okay, for part B, you need to find the percentage of students with families of more than 5 members. Alright? So, families with more than 5 members means those with 6 or 7 members. 5 members is not included. Okay? So, we focus with 6 and 7. Step 1, please copy down all of these steps in your notes properly. Okay? Step 1, number of students more than 5 members. So we only focus with 6 and 7. 8 plus 5 is 13 and the total is 40 students. Step 2, you need to get the percentage of the students. So 13 divided by 40, the total, times with 100. Anything that need to find the percentage, you need to multiply with 100. Okay? Therefore, the answer for this part B will be 32.5%. Part C, I give you 1 minute to try. Okay, now for this part C, the question is, what is the total number of people? Okay, total number of people who come from families with 4 or 5 members. So here we are talking about total number of people. Okay, so number of people in families with 4 members will be 11 times 4, which is 44. Number of people in families with 5 members is 10 times 5, which is 50. And after that, you get the total number of people, and total number of people will be 44 plus 50 will give you 94. Therefore, the answer for part C is 94. Example 10. And here you are given frequency table. It's about number of telephone calls received, and we have 4 questions here. And I will give you 1 minute to complete these questions. Okay, now, so for part A, draw a bar chart to represent the data. So circle the word bar chart. Remember, in exam, you need to identify what the question want. Okay. If the question wants pictogram, so you need to do pictogram. If the question asks you about bar chart, you need to draw that bar chart. Okay, focus with what the question wants. Okay, for part A, draw a bar chart to represent the data. Use a scale of 1 centimeter to represent 5 telephone call. Okay, 1 centimeter will be this one. Okay, this 5 little square. So this is 1 centimeter. Now, you label students, frequency, number of telephone call. So, put all the scales, okay? And remember, 1 centimeter represent 5 telephone calls. So, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Please copy this down in your notes. And for the first one already here, Ida is 30, so you put Ida and draw a box like this until reach 30. And then Basir is 22, Charlie is 18, Safan 10, Nurul 25. Okay, so if you see here, we have a uniform column width, and also we have equal space out. So this will be the bar chart, right? For part B, who received the least number of telephone call last week? And the answer is Safan. For part C, how many more telephone call did Ida receive than Charlie? So Ida is 30 and Charlie is 18, and we just simply subtract that 18 from 30. So 30 minus 18, the answer is 12. Okay. Yang ke-D, express the number of telephone call received by Nurul as a fraction. So as a fraction. Therefore, the first information will be the numerator, okay, as a fraction of the total number of telephone call. So, fractions of telephone calls received by Nurul. Nurul is 25, and the total number of telephone call is 105. Okay, and then you simplify, the answer is 5 out of 21. Example 11, and I will give you 1 minute to answer this example first, 1 minute from now. Okay, now for part A, you need to find the value of P. Okay, and here you know that the total is 50. Therefore, to find P, you just simply minus all of this value from 50. So 50 minus 10 minus 12 minus 8 minus 7, and you will get 13. For part B, the data was presented in a bar chart as shown below. Complete the bar chart. Okay, now for Kia, you already know that P, so P is equal to 13 from Kia, and then you mark for 13. Okay, you draw the column for Kia up to 13. Example 12, and here we have two questions. I will give you 1 minute to try. Okay, now example 12, the chart shows the number of units of electricity produced each day of the week. Before you answering the questions, you need to know the number of units for each days of the week. Alright? For Monday we have 8, for Tuesday we have 14, Wednesday 16, Thursday 10, Friday 8, Saturday 6, and Sunday 6. Okay, so for part A, calculate the total number of units produced. So you just simply add all of the number of units from each days. Okay, so 8 plus 14 plus 16 plus 10 plus 8 plus 6 plus 6, and the answer is 68. Right, now calculate the means. Calculate the mean number of units produced per day. When we say per day, that means division, okay? Like average. And mean equal to total out of number of days. Therefore, 68 divided by 7, and the answer is 9.71 unit. Next one will be pie charts. A pie chart represents data and information in a circle. Remember, pie chart represents data and information in a circle. Okay. The circle is divided into various sectors to show the parts of a set of data. And angle of sector, this is the most important things that you need to remember. Angle of sector equal to frequency out of total times 360. Okay, you need this angle of sector for constructing a pie chart later on. Example 13, given below is a pie chart showing the type of books preferred by the students of a class. Observe the chart and answer the questions given below. Okay, for part A, what fraction of students like comic books? Now, if you comic book, if you divide this one circle four into four division, it will become like this. Okay, and from here you can see quarters. Okay, from here you can see quarters. So we are talking about comic books. So this comic book is 1/4 of this whole circle. Okay, this comic book is 1/4 of this whole circle. Therefore, the answer for part A is 1/4. For part B, what fraction of students like storybook? And as you can see here, it is half of the circle. Therefore, the answer is half. For part C, which two books have equal fraction of preference? And the answer is puzzle book and poem books. For part D, what fraction of student does not like storybook? If you can see from this circle, half of the students like storybooks. Therefore, the another half of the student does not like that story books. Therefore, the answer is simply half. And for part E, which type of book do you like to read? It's depend on you. Okay, it's depend on you. And one answer example for these questions will be comic books, but it's depend on you. It's your own preference. Example 14, I give you 1 minute to try. Okay, now example 14. The pie chart shows the favorite subject of students in a class. Using the information given in the pie chart, find the percentage, circle the keywords, percentage of students who chose English. Okay, so when we talk about percentage, finding percentage, always multiply with 100. Okay, always multiply with 100 here, and you know that this one whole circle, the total angle will be 360. And for English, the angle is 72. So you can use these informations of angle to get the percentage of students chose the student who chose English. Okay, so it is 20%. The answer for this example 14 is 20%. Example 15. I give you 1 minute to try. Okay. Example 15. A pie chart is divided into three parts with the angles measuring as x, 4x, and 5x, respectively. Respectively mean satu-satu. Okay. Find the value of x in degrees. Now, and of course, for our syllabus, all of our angles in degrees. Okay, and you know that for pie chart, we are dealing with angles. So you can do like this. X plus 4x plus 5x equal to 360. Why 360? Angle at a point is 360. Apply your algebra. They are all like terms. So add them all. You will get 10x equal to 360. And here you need to get the value of x, not 10x. So you need to remove that 10. Okay. Once we remove that 10, it will become 360 divided by 10, and x will be 36. Therefore, the value for this x will be 36 degrees. Example 16. I will give you 1 minute to try. Okay, now Sarah draws a pie chart to show the time she spends on different activities one day. Here is the table she uses. So the activities are sleep, school, travel, eat, and play. And your task is to complete the table. Okay, so try to figure out complete informations. And here we can see that we have two complete informations: sleep and also eat. And use these complete informations to find the value for one. All right, and I'm going to use two entity here. So 2 hours is equal to 30 degrees, right? So if 1 hour, what will be the angles for the pie chart? So divide by 2 and x will be 15. So 1 hour, the angle will be 15. And what about 5 hour? So you just simply multiply by 5 and the answer is 75. And what if your angle is given but your hours is missing? Okay, so how are we going to find out the number of hours for play? Okay, so you use the first information here. 1 hour equal to 15 degrees, multiply by 4, then you will get that 60, correct? So the other side also you need to multiply 4, therefore the answer is 4, right? How many hours for play? And the answer is 4. Example 17. Construct a pie chart to visually display the favorite fruits of the students in a class based on the given data. Okay, so mango is 45 students, orange 30 students, plum is 15 students, pineapple 30 students, and melon 30 students. Okay, so step 1, you need to find the angles of all the sectors. And we start from mango. Mango angle of sector is 45 out of total times with 360. So you're going to get 108 degrees. Okay. The second one, orange, 30 divided by 150 times 360 equal to 72. Plum equal to 36. Pineapple 72. Melon 72. Once you get all of this information, you can start constructing the pie chart. Okay, I give you 1 minute. Yes, no. I will show you the video to construct the pie chart, and I'm going to play the video now. Alright, please get ready with your ruler, your compass, your protector. Okay, to construct a pie chart, first you need to draw a circle, okay? Remember, circle is the key for a pie chart. So if you want to draw a pie chart, you need to draw a circle first, okay? You need to make a circle like this, not that big, okay? Just the small one. And here will be the center. Here will be the center. We're going to start with mango. And first, you can draw a temporary line like this. Okay, and we're going to start with mango. And remember, this is about angle. So we focus on angle of sectors. Okay, mango, it is 108. Use your knowledge on drawing the angles in your previous topics to draw angle of 108. So I'm going to use the outer scale. So 108 is here. Okay. So you draw a line like this. You can make this temporary line on this side darker. And you can remove the other side of your temporary line, like this. And don't forget to label. It is 108 mango, and we have 45 number of students. And then we proceed with orange. Orange is 72 degrees. So we continue your angle here. We continue the angle here. And still I'm going to use the 0, the outer scale. And 72 is somewhere here. 70, 71, 72. Somewhere here. So join the line. Okay, like this. And here will be 72 orange. We have 30. And then we continue with plums, 36. From this line, we continue 36. Still we use the outer scale. Look for 36, 35, 36 here. So here is 36 and plum 15. Moving on with pineapples, 72. Okay, like this. By using the auto scale, look for 72, 70, 71, 72. And here will be the 72. Label. And in this pineapple, we have 30. And the last one, this last sector should be 72. Okay. If this sector is not 72, something wrong with your calculation here. Okay, so let us check. And yes, as you can see here, this one, it is 72. Okay, that means our measurement for this pie chart is correct. So the last 72 will be melon and 30. Okay, so this is how you construct a pie chart. Remember, for a pie chart, you need to draw the circle first, and then you need to measure the sector, and make sure the center here must be one joint. Okay, be careful here, it must be meet at one point. Okay, like this. If not, your pie chart is not perfect. Okay. Frequency table. Frequency is the number of times each score or marks or items occurs. Frequency table is also called the frequency distribution table. It consists of 3 columns, but most of the time it is 2 columns. 3 columns because it involves with tally. We include that tally in our frequency table. And usually for any graphs, we put the information into the frequency table before we construct the graph. Example 18. Farid conducted an interview to find out the number of occupants in each house. The results are as follow. So here are the group of information collected. And then for part A, you need to complete the following frequency table. So you group these items into each groups. Okay. So for 1, we have 2, 2 we have 4, 3 we have 9, 4 we have 14, 5 we have 12, and 6 we have 9. Okay. Now for part B, how many houses have 3 occupants? So we focus with this one. Example 19. The students of a class were asked to answer the following questionnaire. So the responses are summarized in the frequency table below. And here you can see the table include the favorite color and also the frequency. Frequency is the number of students. Okay. For blue we have 8 students, black we have 18 students, red we have 4 students, and white we have 10 students. Now for part A, what was the total number of students in the class? So you look at the frequency and you need to add them all. Therefore, the answer is 40. 8 plus 18 plus 4 plus 10, it is 40. And then for part B, which was the most popular t-shirt color? So the highest frequency is black, therefore the answer is black. For part C, how many more students like black than blue color? So here you need to find out the difference. Therefore, the difference is 18 minus 8 and the answer is 10. And for part D, find the percentage of students who like white color. If you need to find out the percentage, so you need to multiply with 100. Okay, so the white t-shirt is 10, total is 40, so 10 out of 40 times 100, and the answer is 25%. Example 20, the height bracket in centimeter of 40 students are measured. The results are as follows. So you are given the result here. If you're asked to draw the frequency table, so you need to find out you need to group the information by yourself. Okay, so for part A, draw a tally for the above data. This one, therefore here you need to fill in all the height here, and you need to count by yourself the number of students and draw the tally. Okay, so from here we have 151 until 160. So 151 you have 1, 152 you have 4, 153 you have 5, 154 you have 7, 155 you have 9, 156 you have 3, 157 you have 2, 158 you have 5, 159 you have 1, so 160 you have 3. Okay, so the total is 40. Make sure all of the informations here are correct. Okay, now once we complete this part A, we move to part B. What is the most common height of the students? Most common mean the highest. Okay, so the highest is 9, and that 9 is 155 centimeter is the answer. For part C, how many students are taller than 157? So this is 157. Therefore, you start from 158 until 160. That will be the part that you need to count for the students who taller than 157, and the answer is 9. 5 plus 1 plus 3 is 9. And for part D, how many students are shorter than 154? So we start from 153 until 151. And number of students, 5 plus 4 plus 1, and the answer is 10. Now, let's move to line graph. Line graph is usually used to show trends or changes in a certain variable over a period of time. So this line graph is very useful for you to see the changes from time to time. Okay, and you already learned this line graph during your primary level, but uh, in our level, you need to know how to plot the graph. Okay, instead of just interpret the graph, just to read the graph, here you need to know how to plot the graph. Okay, the line graph comprises of two axes known as x-axis and y-axis. You should know what is y-axis and x-axis. The horizontal axis is of course the x-axis, and the vertical axis is the y-axis. Learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to draw the line graph. Second, read information in a line graph and explain the relationship between the two given variables, example, distance or time, and conversion graph. Steps to success. Plot all data given and draw the line graph. Second, read the line graph to answer the questions. Please copy down these steps to success in your notes. Example 21. Draw a line graph for each of the following tables. And for part A, you have this table and you need to plot all of this information to your line graph. Okay. And here you are given a blank graph. So you need to prepare the scale. And for this year, this column, it always be in your x-axis. And this number of spectators, the frequency always in your y-axis. Okay, so you can draw your graph like this and put the scales like this, right? So 20 here, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. And here, each of these small square is 4. How I know it's 4? 20 divided by 5 small square. So each of these small square is 4. Alright? And write down the years 1990, 1995, 2000, 2005, 2010, 2015. Okay, so we start from 1990. It is 40, so plot 40. Before that, please label. Here is year and here is number of spectators. Okay, please label. Here is year and here is number of spectators. Now we start with 1990. So 40, 1995, 44, 2000, 50, 2005, 62, 2010, 88, 2015, 90. And don't leave your graph like this. You join all of them. Okay, so this is your line graph. Okay, different from your equation of straight line. Please do not confuse yourself with equation of straight line. Line graph is to see the trend, but equation of straight line, it is about straight line from the equation given, and it must be straight line. Okay, your graph must be straight line, but for your line graph, it can be like this. Okay. Part B, here is the table. So I will give you 1 minute to plot all of the information given. Your graph is already prepared with the scales and also the labeling. So you just need to plot the information given here. 1 minute from now. Okay, now we start on Monday 14. So here is 14. And for each of the small square, this is 11. 2 small square equal to 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, so 16 will be here, 15 will be here, Thursday 10, and Friday is 9. So don't leave your points like this. Plot all the points from the starting point until the last point. Okay, if your starting point is on this Monday, so start from Monday like this. Okay, and stop. Tidak boleh lebih, tidak boleh kurang. Alright, just plot join all of the point given when it start on that Monday. So just focus on Monday and stop on that Friday. Tidak boleh lebih, tidak boleh kurang. Ngam-ngam. Okay. Example 22. So here you have 4 questions. I give you 1 minute to try. Okay, now. So here you need to read the informations from the graph given. Okay, so all of your example here, they are all exam type questions. So you need to know how to plot the line graph and you need to know how to read the line graph. For part A, in which year was the price $2.50? And if you see here, here is £1 sterling and £2 sterling. Therefore, at the middle of here, okay, should be $2.50 pound sterling. Okay, and in which year? The answer is 2000. Okay, how much was the price of a coffee in 1990? 1990 is here, so it is $1.40. And how you know that? For each of these small square, it is 10 cent. Okay, for each of these small square, it is 10 cent. Okay, this one 10 cent, 20 cent, 30 cent, 40 cent, and 50 cent. At the middle of this small square, it must be 5 cent. Okay. Now, for part C, estimate the price of a copy in 2005. 2005 is here. It is not exactly hit that small square. It is the middle of your small square. Therefore, it is $2.85. Okay. Here, you look here. So it is $2.85. And please draw this dotted line in your notes. Okay. Please draw this dotted line in your notes. And for part D, Denny says that the price of a coffee will be £3.60 sterling by 2020. Do you agree with Denny? Explain your answer. And the answer is yes. Please copy this down. Yes. And explain. Based on the increasing trend, it should be around $3.60 sterling. Okay, if you can see from here, your line graph is increasing like this. Okay, keep on increasing. So it should be by 2020, it should be around $3.60 sterling. Example 23. Ayman works as a salesman in an authorized car showroom. He records the number of cars sold in 5 days, from Monday to Friday on a line graph. Study the graph and answer the questions. Okay. For part A, how many cars were sold in 5 days? So you need to know the number of cars sold for each days. Okay. Monday, 3 cars, Tuesday 5 cars, Wednesday 6 cars, Thursday 4 cars, and Friday 9 cars, and add them up. The total should be 27 cars. And please copy down also the workings in your notes. For part B, on which day were the maximum number of cars sold? Paling tinggi, it is Friday. For part C, How many cars were sold on Wednesday? You know the answer already. The answer is 6. For part D, which day had the minimum sales of cars? Paling sikit, it is on Monday. And for part E, how many more? I'm sure you're familiar with this kind of words, how many more. It always used in your primary level. So this should be to get the difference, okay? How many more cars were sold on Tuesday than on Monday? So you focus on Tuesday and Monday and you find out the difference. So 5 minus 3 and the answer is 2 cars. Okay, so this will be the last part for our session. Please complete your notes, please complete your worksheet, and as usual, we will end our session by reciting doa. Thank you so much and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Doa selepas belajar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma inni astaudi'uka ma 'allamtani fardudhu ilayya inda hajati ilaihi wala tansani ya rabbal alamin. Ya Allah, sesungguhnya aku menitipkan padamu ilmu-ilmu yang telah engkau ajarkan kepadaku dan kembalikanlah kepadaku sewaktu aku memerlukannya kembali. Dan janganlah engkau lupakan aku kepada ilmu itu, wahai Tuhan yang memiliki semesta alam. Amin.